So Paul Turner means some business. And Jake wasn't messing around. Got puns for days in this one. Jeremy Burton is here. I'm Adrian Fentu. Final preseason game. Oh, my God. The Eagles are preseason champions. 4-0. Wow. Awesome.
Too bad it means nothing. I mean, we won this game. I think we had 5 turnovers. I mean, it was a slop fest down there. I mean, nobody can hold on to the ball. There's interceptions for days. I mean, bunch of scrubs playing, but it's fun to watch the final guys duke it out and throw it all on the line, even though they know they're getting cut.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Paul Turner stood out again. 6 catches for 66 yards. All this guy does is catch balls. I mean, he gets open. He makes catches. He had the punt return tonight. No offensive touchdowns. He had the punt return and the interception return for 6 points. It was a pretty abysmal game out there. But there were a couple guys who shined. Turner looked good. Steven Means, Jesus Christ. How can you keep this guy off this team? This guy was unbelievable tonight. Marcus Smith has silently had a pretty good preseason. We'll talk about that too. So a couple guys stood out to me. Those were the big ones. Dorial Green-Beckham had a couple catches. Steven Means and Paul Turner, it was their show tonight.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And just watching the first man miss on that punt return, I saw it. I knew it was coming. I'm like, he's gone. He's absolutely gone. He took off the races. That's exciting. I mean, I think he's definitely going to be in there as like the 5th receiver spot. He's showing he can make an impact on special teams, and obviously he's been catching the ball all day in preseason. Ed Reynolds, I mean, there's a lot of depth in that corner safety area, but he's a good special teams player, and he can make plays in the reserve. And him and Chris Maragos, I think, got to fill out the and Jalen Watkins. We might keep 5 safeties. I mean, I don't know how you don't. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But obviously the offense was abysmal. You don't want to see Chase Daniel if Bradford gets hurt, go in and look like that. If he's throwing 2 picks against backups, I mean, you're going to be hearing the Wentz chants real soon.
Yeah, he kind of like dinked and dunked his way to a high completion percentage, and then had, those 2 mistakes. I'll tell you, Ed Reynolds, man, he loves himself some preseason. Last year he had those picks. This year had the pick 6. But I want to get back to Paul Turner for a second, because it's going to be really, really interesting to see what the Eagles do. Because obviously Saturday around 4 o'clock, all the cuts are going to come out. So does Turner make this team, or do they go another route? Do they get a guy off waivers? It'll be really interesting. But Turner keeps making his case. All he does is catch passes. You do have some smart asses out there, like some guy from WIP, guy named Turtle. I don't know what fucking his name is, but he was criticizing Turner. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, shut the fuck up. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. And I'll tell you what, I love the fact that Doug Peterson grew the balls last week, cut Chris Givens, bye, and Ruben Randall, bye. Even though Randall, I'm just a little bit surprised about that, because he does have a history of production in the league. Chris Givens, I mean, you stink. But Randall, I mean, that was surprising. But you know what? I ain't going to hate on it. Paul Turner's been a stud.
It's funny. A couple months ago, maybe 2-3 months ago, we were, looking in towards the season. This was before the Green-Beckham, and we were saying, I think Ruben Randall is the second best wideout. He's going to start outside that we got. So it would be him after Matthews and before Aguilar and Huff. And free agent acquisition didn't cost you a lot of money, and we probably saved it by just not paying him this year. We just paid him, I guess, the signing bonus or whatever. I don't know how it works with those small contracts, but yeah, he grew the balls. Paul Turner's making plays, and they're not. They were, low risk signings. Cut your losses and get rid of them. If they're not the best player on the field, absolutely give the next guy a shot. I mean, you like seeing that kind of demeanor from a first-year head coach, that you can make that move, and working with Roseman and whoever made those collective decisions. But Randall surprised me a little bit, obviously more than Chris Givens did.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Givens too is, now it's interesting because they noted tonight that Lane Johnson might not be getting suspended, at least not for a little bit. We'll get to that in a second too. But if Lane Johnson's suspended the first 10 games, Chris Givens can't make this team because he's a one-trick pony. He's a deep threat. Obviously, you need Bradford, give him a lot of time in the pocket to complete those routes. If you're going deep, you need that route to materialize. So instead of like a 3-step drop, you're going to need like 5, 6, 7-step drops. And guess what? That's just not going to happen. So Chris Givens, it did not surprise me at all that he got cut. I actually called it on one of the Facebook Live videos I did for Philly Influencer. I was like, he's not making this team, and he didn't. But Randall, just a little bit surprising. But hey, if you go up against the Colts without 6 cornerbacks, including your top 3 guys, you better make some plays. Ruben Randall, Chris Givens, they didn't. Not at all. At least the Hufflepuff, at least he caught 2 passes.
Yeah, and he had that little jet sweep.
A little jet sweep, yeah.
Runs in action. Hufflepuff showed up a little bit, but yeah, when you can't make plays against the scrubs the Colts are throwing out there, gone, and it's just a great thing. And what else? We got to see McLeod Bethel Thompson in there. It was funny. I saw a timeline from like when he graduated in 2010, 2016. He's been on like 9 different teams, and he's not going to make this one. It's sad for him.
That guy. He was an Arena Bowl or Arena football star as well as was Jake Metz. Now I want to talk about DGB just really, really quickly because again, like he's basically running the stuff which I was thinking he was going to run: quick slants, crossing routes, back shoulder balls, and some fade routes. And that's what we've been seeing in the preseason. That's probably what we're going to be seeing during the regular season. So limited route tree, and guess what? The guy gets open. He's been getting open. So the one was just terrible coverage, but the quick slant beats the press off the line with the physicality. Good timing on the throw by Daniel, and that was an easy 15 yards. As was that touchdown last week.
That was nice to see for a little bit. They had a drive going. Chase was actually like on point. A few passes in a row. DGB was involved, and Paul Turner. It was like the DGB and Paul Turner show to start off the first quarter. And then you're in the red zone, and boom, you had that quick decision by Chase Daniel, and it was in horrible coverage. It was a bad throw, and then just tip drill interception. But DGB, he's coming on here. He's going to be our starting wideout on the outside. It's a given. You're expanding his playbook a little more each week. The kid's obviously learning enough to showcase the skill set we know he has and the physical specimen that he is. What a great weapon that can be for Dennis Kelly, by the way.
We got away with murder. We really did.
Still can't believe it, dude.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, who's playing good tonight? And I said it already. Steven fucking Means, man. You cannot leave this guy off this team. All right, so he was showcasing a little bit of everything. Run defense. He was getting after the quarterback. So many different moves too. He's got the bull rush. He's got a little swim move action. My favorite move of his is how quick that spin move is. It's so quick. He's balanced, lightning quick. Just a little top out there. And the bull rush he had on the sack, I believe he had. Just straight power. The guy gets off so quickly, translates speed to power, and I love watching him. You can't leave him off the team, Doug. Can't do it.
And just watching him line up, and he's just after blood. He's got huge legs, huge body, and he's so fast and strong. I love when he ripped down the quarterback and he had to throw it away, intentional grounding as it was getting sacked because he had nothing else to do. But yeah, he's got to make this team. And it just, someone like that's making all these plays. He's literally our 8th defensive lineman or more. And just to show you what the depth that Jim Schwartz has to work with there. And we've been getting constant pressure. We were getting pressure last week on the Colts' #1 offensive line. Great, rotation. Jim Schwartz is working there, and you saw last week, Cox even moved out to the DN one play or two and came rushing in that way. It's just mix and match these kind of guys, especially the depth we have. I mean, that's the most exciting part of our team, especially our defense.
Yeah, I forgot about that one play. Great discipline to stay in his lane there on the play action bootleg, closes quickly on the quarterback, forces the what was it, blanket, but intentional grounding. So that was cool. And Marcus Smith, he had this one play where he a little quick spin move or swim move, gets in the backfield. Yeah, and tackle for loss. So he has silently had himself a solid preseason for what the expectations were. So not the expectations you'd expect for a first round pick, but he's looked okay, man. So hey, I might lose that bet we made. I forget how many sacks it was, but I know it was for the case of Nugget Nectar.
Yeah, I think it was. Let me say, I think 3 or 4.
I thought it was
it was a low.
I thought it was like some high number. We'll have to check it back. Might have been like 3.5.
If he gets a handful of sacks, I definitely win. If he gets like 5, it was definitely more than. It was less than 5 was the bet, I think. Because you put him on 1 or 2 like last. I think he only had one sack last year.
But yeah, one.
I mean, it's just 1.5.
1.5 maybe.
Third year in the league. I mean, come on. If this kid's ever going to work out, I mean, it's going to be under Jim Schwartz. He knows how to use these guys to their potential. I mean, he's got the right size. He's just got to figure it all out and put it together. I mean, he's quick. He's huge. So, hey, if he can put it together, that's just another weapon we got in that defensive line rotation. It's crazy.
All right. Now let's talk a little cornerback, because that last cornerback spot is going to be between C.J. Smith and Eric Rowe. At least that's what it seems like. And I thought Rowe was okay tonight. He got beat bad. Well, he didn't necessarily got beat bad on the pass interference. It was just he didn't turn his fucking head around, and that's been a problem with him. He doesn't always get his head turned around, but he was sort of hip to hip with the receiver, and just got the penalty there. A couple other plays. He had one play where he was in zone. He recognized the pass in the flat really quickly, closed quickly, made a tackle. And there was a crossing route where he had some pretty good coverage. So he had some plays where he looked all right. There was another ball where he got his head turned around really late, but he was in good position on the play. But again, these are like this. We're talking about third, fourth quarter in a fourth fucking preseason game. So I would hope that you'd have good coverage on these guys, Mr. Row your boat.
Yeah, I mean, against these kind of scrubs, there was a running play too. He had containment on if he would have stayed outside, but he went inside and gave up a 7-yard run on first down when you had to stay outside and contain that. Lots of ups and downs, and for already going through a rookie year, and we still had the same D-backs coach, defensive coordinator changed, but the same D-backs coach. Corey Unlin as last year. I mean, I don't think for a second-round pick he should be making these mistakes still. That's why I think it's going to show in his playing time. I think he's fifth corner on this team. Everyone else is going to get playing time come the dime packages, except he might be left out unless there's another inactive.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with him because I think he's talented. But we also saw this last year with the scheme. He struggled adapting to a new scheme. It took him until like midway through the year to finally really get going. And he played well late in the year. And it looks like the same thing's happening this year. He's going to start out 5th on the depth chart. And consider maybe some injuries will happen. He'll have to step in there. That's what happened last year before he thrived. So we'll see. I mean, I still think in terms of the future and in terms of who has the most talent at cornerback, I think it's him. But, I mean, he's definitely had his fair share of struggles as well. So I'm sticking by Eric Rowe. I think he makes his team. I don't see how C.J. Smith's going to make it over him. So, it'll be interesting, though. We're going to have, after the show's over, I'm going to put all of our 53-man roster projections up in the comments section. Really, unlike last year was really difficult with the 53-man projections. But this year, not much trouble, at least for me. I mean, maybe along the offensive line there was some trouble. Maybe, it's tough whether or not you want to put Means on the roster or not. That last linebacker spot is tough. But I think at linebacker, I think that what the Eagles might do is like I referenced with Turner earlier, I think that's going to be one of those. They're going to pluck a guy off waivers somewhere, and that'll be their last linebacker on the team. Quentin Gauss and Mike Tavares, I don't know if those guys are cutting it.
Yeah, I had the same struggles. I mean, just with the 9th or 10th offensive lineman, or whether to keep the sixth linebacker to keep. These are guys who just like we hopefully don't have to see because barring injury. I love the Stephen Tulloch signing. He was in there a little bit early on today, and with Michael Kendricks, which is interesting because he's the presumed starter, and you got maybe his competition right next to him. If you can move Tulloch from the middle spot to an outside, he knows Jim Schwartz's defense better than anybody. He drafted him, so I love that signing for some help on the depth and linebacker because I think that was a little message to Kendricks. You got to step it up. He hasn't really been, and he's a guy that has the make to be great. Speed and size, but sometimes Kendricks just over pursues the ball. Sometimes the play, he's just been frustrating. He's got to step up, and hopefully the Tulloch signing helps him out.
Yeah, Kendricks has been kind of overrated the last couple of years. Some people might not want to hear that, but he definitely has to step up his game. And I saw a tweet tonight that made me laugh. When he tackles, it looks like he's trying to catch a firefly.
That's funny. Just kind of swarming around it and then missing.
Yeah, he had a missed tackle tonight where, again, it's like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, he looked better his first 2 years than he has his last few. So he definitely does have to step up his game. But, hey, we shall see. Before we kind of close, not much really else to talk about. I'll bring this point up because, I've been asked by some Eagles fans, are we going to trade Sam Bradford to the Vikings? Like some people actually think this would happen. No, stop. It's not fucking happening. So quit it with that. I mean, and he's an $11 million cap hit if you trade him. So fuck, man. Like that would be the dumbest thing ever. If you traded Sam Bradford right now, do you know the kind of message that sends to your fucking team and your fan base? You're basically admitting that you suck, that you're not good enough, that you're not ready to compete this year. And even though they may not, that's not the point. So I don't want to hear that shit from people. Well, we're gonna, if we go 8-8, we lose in the wild card round. Who the fuck cares? I'm like, dude, you don't get the point.
Yeah, people were saying, oh, well, would you take like a second-round pick for him? Like, I mean, no, I don't think it's worth. I mean, just tanking this year. I mean, for a second-round pick, I don't know. Well, what if the Broncos offered you a second-round pick for him?
Dude, if he kills it this year, you can just wait until the end of the regular season, and exactly. The cap is less.
Yeah, you're not going to hurt your team. It's absurd. You can't obviously we can see Chase Daniel out there, and Wentz still has to learn, and he was already injured and limited. So yeah, and Bradford I think is going to be a great serviceable quarterback in this offense. I mean, I think he's going to have. This guy's been through 5 offensive coordinators in the past 7 years. I mean, it's kind of give him a chance to get going. You saw what he did in the second half of last year. He was in the top half of the quarterbacks in the league in efficiency, and so let's hope it translates. You got DGB, give him another weapon.
I refuse to be teased right now. I've seen this fucking act from him before. He is the king of the third preseason game. If there was a Hall of Fame for third preseason games, I mean, he's at the top of the list. He's a fucking unanimous Hall of Famer. This guy, oh my God! Last year, 10 for 10, 3 touchdowns. This year, 17-20. I refuse to get teased, but I'm gonna play the wait and see approach. Sure, he looks good right now. He looks confident. He's Slinging the ball pretty accurately. His timing's good with the wide receivers. But again, like, fuck, man, we saw this last year in the preseason too, and then it didn't translate. So we shall see. I'm cautiously optimistic, maybe.
That's the perfect 2 words to use.
Yeah,
we learned from last year, dude. I mean, well, not to buy in right away. We said Super Bowl. We were saying 12, 13 wins last year after that game. But then Chip Kelly happened, and third year of Chip Kelly happened, and that was that. So, fresh start, clean slate, and 1 year healthier, his first full off season of being completely healthy in how many years? So, cautiously optimistic approach. We got the Browns in like 10 days. So that's fine.
I'll tell you what. I had this team penciled in at 6 wins, but there's a couple things that happened this week. Tony Romo got hurt. Teddy Bridgewater got hurt. All of a sudden, these 2 games that might not have been wins on the schedule, they might now be. Now, I know Dak Prescott. I know everyone in Dallas, they want to suck his cock and all that shit. But he's still a rookie quarterback, all right? And the regular season, it's a different animal. He's not going to be seeing no vanilla defense no more. So some blitzes are coming. We shall see how he handles that. So I'm like, again, with him, he's another guy. I'm waiting and seeing to see what he can bring. I'm not ready to crown his ass either. So Dallas fans, you can shut the fuck up about him.
It is interesting. I had us around 8 wins already, before all this. Yeah. And like, I think 9 gets you in the mix for.
I think 7 and 9 can win this division. It's fucking putrid.
So 8 or 9 wins gets you in the running for the division. You get in, anything can happen. That's what I'm just mildly shooting for.
What are you, JP from Angels in the Outfield?
Yeah, it could happen.
So basically, if they win the NFC,
hanging out.
If they win the NFC East, they would play either Arizona or Seattle in the first round in the wild card. That's probably what's going to happen, and they would lose. But hey, it could happen.
No, they would have the bye. We would win if we won the division. We'd be the 4 seed. We would get.
Well, we would play the loser. Whoever finishes in second place.
In the second round, yeah.
In the NFC.
So we'd win a playoff game.
That would be amazing.
Let's win a playoff game, and then we can lose. Then we lose the Seattle. Or
I think maybe you misinterpreted, or maybe I misspoke. But if we make the playoffs, we would be the 4th seed, and we'd play either Seattle or Arizona. That's what I mean. Like whoever finishes
to win their division, whoever is the wild card. I got you.
That's what I meant. Maybe I said it wrong. I don't know, but yeah, because
I got you.
That 5 seed is either going to be, because I think those are the 2 best teams in the NFC, in my opinion. So, let's see. I guess final thoughts time. We'll keep this short. I know you got to get up at like 6.
Yeah, 5:15, but that's fine.
Oh, you got to be there by 6.
Yeah, lovely. But it's been a long couple of weeks, but it's good overtime, so I'll take it. 10 days till football. That's my final thought. Wrapping up the preseason. I don't care what we were, 4-0, doesn't matter. But Eagles football is right around the corner.
All right, I'm going to get a fuck Howie in here. Because you know what? Even though I kind of like these signings, I'm still going to get a fuck Howie because you're the one that fucking brought in Ruben Randall and Chris Gibbons, motherfucker. So, fuck Howie, even though at the time I didn't hate the moves. Because I thought Ruben Randall was a pretty good signing for cheap to, one year kind of prove it deal for him. But, well, neither proved to be anything. So that's that. Other than that, I got nothing else on the agenda. Maybe, Jake Metz made some plays tonight. The Soul kid from the Soul led the Arena League in sacks, had 8 of them. Had a pressure tonight and a play and run defense. He had a tackle from what I remember. Let's see, any other guys? I can't think of anything else. So with that being said, that's Jeremy Burton. I'm Adrian Fedke. Let us know in the comment section if you have the time to put some 53-man roster together. If you want to do it, go ahead. Let us know below who you got. So, Jeremy Burton, I'm Adrian Fedke. We're out later. We'll be back next week. Go Birds.
See ya.